Hi, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. This week we're doing a just cozy reading vlog. I seriously needed to de-stress, just have an unwind session. And I just thought I'd take you guys along with me. So the next 2 or 3 days, I don't know, we'll just see where it takes us. I'm just gonna read and do as little as possible other than that. Do some cozy hobbies and things like that. And I'll just take you guys along with me and kind of make it a relaxing experience for you guys as well. We are expecting some rain later. Before it rains, I'm wanting to go and grab some hot chocolate and go for a walk at the park. After my walk, I'm gonna do some reading. So, today's read is You've Lost a Lot of Blood. It should be a pretty quick read, I think. It's a short book, so I'm hoping to read this one all today, and I'll let you guys know what I think about it. Other than that, we'll see where it takes us. I will check in here in a little bit. did finish You've Lost a Lot of Blood. I had a really productive day. Went on a walk. That was really nice. Did get some rain, which was also really good. Love, love, love a gloomy rainy day. It's my favorite. But yeah, this was, I don't know what this was, but this is so freaking hard to explain. But I'm gonna give it a try. But this is so freaking weird and so hard to explain. This was the most bizarre thing ever. But I freaking loved it though. This is my first LaRocca book, and I will definitely be reading more. Yeah, I'm absolutely obsessed with their writing style at this point. So freaking hard to explain though, because it's like two stories happening at the same time, and there's like a novella within this book that's happening at the same time. First of all, there is like this guy Martyr Black, and you get his like personal thoughts. You get a lot of his personal thoughts and a lot of dialogue between him and his boyfriend. You get a lot of poems and voice memos and a lot of transcripts and dialogue between him and his boyfriend and all of that. And I won't tell you a whole lot because I don't want to give anything away of what's going on with him. But yeah, he's interesting. But yeah, and then also you get this novella that he had published. So it's a story within a story. So it goes back and forth between, sometimes you'll get a like a voice memo from him, or you'll get a dialogue or whatever, and then you'll get something like that, and then it'll flip back to a part of his novella that he had published. So it'll flip back and forth between those two things. But the novella is about this lady who is a software developer, and she goes to this mansion in the middle of nowhere to work on a new video game. And she takes along her kid brother, and yeah, things get really weird really quickly with this video game and with this mansion. So that's all I'll really say about that as well. And I think if you read this, you need to go into it knowing probably very little. So just go into it. I went into this knowing nothing. I went into this knowing absolutely nothing. And on the back it just says, each precious thing I show you in this book is a holy relic from the night we both perished. The night when I combed you from my hair and watered the moon with your blood. You've lost a lot of blood. So yeah, and there's also poetry in this, and it is very poetic. So odd. So odd, and I don't know what to make of it. It's just really weird. It's a really quick read. I read this in pretty much one sitting, but it was really good. And like I said, I'm absolutely hooked with LaRocca's writing style. It's very unique and mesmerizing. I would call it, aside from mesmerizing, but it was bizarre, it was poetic, it was chilling. It was an absolute mindfuck. That's another word I would use. It was just a mindfuck. Had LGBTQ rep, obviously, because in more than one way. There's a lot more to it than that, but if I said anything more, it would give it away. It was really good. I gave it 5 stars. I did get some done on my paint by number. Let me tell you, these are harder than they look. This is how much I've gotten done on it. Okay, so let me show you. Get as close as I can. But look how freaking tiny some of these little parts are. Do you know how hard it is to do that with a freaking paintbrush? There's no way I'm gonna get this done within this vlog, but I will say it is a stress reliever. It is fun. It's calming. So it is doing the job. It is definitely doing the job. Having a lot of fun with it. I absolutely love it. It does get me out of my head because I just focus on this. And I had Gilmore Girls playing in the background. Gilmore Girls is one of those shows that I can have it on in the background. I don't have to really watch it to know what's going on with it because I've watched it so many times that yeah, I could just have it playing and just on. And I don't even have to look. I know what everybody's wearing. I know what everybody's doing because I've seen it 500 times. But I haven't seen it in a while. So I just started it over and I've been watching it. So yeah, that's what I've been watching and doing my paint by number. This one is, like I said, Clown in a Cornfield. This is what it will look like when it's complete. minus those little arrows. Those little arrows just tell you the instructions here. This wraps up day 1. Let me know if any of you read You've Lost a Lot of Blood by LaRocca, and let me know what you thought about it, because I'm really curious. I really didn't know how to sum it up. It's so weird. I will see you guys later. Hey, good morning. It's pretty early. It's the next day. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. Haven't decided if I'm even doing makeup today. It might just be like one of those chill days, but that's okay. It's a de-stress vlog, so I'm just gonna be stress-free. So, oh, and yeah, my socks have boobs, because of course they do. We'll mostly see what we get up to, but I know part of the plan today, I started Finlay Donovan is Killing It by Elle Cosimano last night. This was not on my November TBR, but I wanted something just super fun and quick and yeah, just light. So this is on my 24 and 2024, so it's perfect. This is so fun. I'm not too far into it, like 100 pages or so. This is a freaking blast. Of course, this is about Finlay Donovan. She's having a really hard time, and like, she's a single mom, she's in breach of her contract, she's a writer, and like, she's struggling with writer's block. So she's in a Panera Bread of all places, and she's overheard talking about her latest book plot, and this lady overhears, thinking that she is a contract killer for hire, and she offers her like 50 grand to kill her husband, and Finlay inadvertently accepts the offer. So it's hysterical. But also Finlay is dealing with, you know, her ex-husband, or her ex. She's dealing with divorce, she's dealing with like custody issues, she's dealing with all these things. She's just got a lot going on. A lot of it is so relatable to me. Like, I went through a divorce, like a very, very similar situation to her, except for the writing part of it, like a few years back. And so it was so relatable, some of this shit that she dealt with him. So yeah, so relatable as far as that goes. And some of the things that she was feeling, some of the things, the thoughts that were in her head and stuff, I'm like, yes, I get it. I've been there. But I'm having a great time with this. The characters are really good. This is just so fun. Like, it's a chunkier book, but I'm just flying through this. And I could not put it down last night. Like, I stayed up later than I was supposed to because I was just having a really fun time reading it. So I'm gonna keep you guys updated on this as I go. Other than that, I'm just gonna kind of see where the day takes me. I'll probably do some writing because I need to. I didn't really do any of that yesterday. I'll probably do, probably watch a movie later. Just depends on how long this one takes me. I don't think it's gonna take me too awful long. And I have all day. So I have the house to myself today. So I don't have any interruptions. I'll see you guys here in a little bit. is like 2:30. I did finish Finlay, Donovan is Killing It. Very entertaining. Definitely a stress release because it was just fun. I didn't have to think too hard. Yeah, Finlay is somebody that she just doesn't always think things through before she makes a decision. She's kind of impulsive. Like she'll just come up with an idea and just go with it. So she gets herself into so many messes. And if she's not getting herself into messes, Vero, her babysitter, is. And Vero is probably my favorite character. Because, I mean, Vero is like, she's kind of, to me, magnetic. She's one of those people that you just want to have around because she's hilarious, first of all, and she's always got some snarky comment and just reminds me of somebody that's just a lot of fun. But yeah, Vero is hysterical. Those two together are even more hysterical because what one doesn't think of, the other one does. And they were just a great duo. Just excellent. So yeah, this was just awesome and definitely great for a stress release vlog. And the way this ended set it up perfectly for book 2. And just letting you know, if you read this, have book 2 ready, because I wish I had book 2 ready, because yeah, like it ended it to where you want book 2 immediately, you know what I mean? And I don't have book 2. I'm supposed to be not spending money. I'm supposed to be waiting for Christmas. I'm not supposed to be spending money at all right now, and I need book 2 like now. So yeah, maybe I'll see if they have it on Kindle, but I'm like somebody that really prefers physical books, but I've been reading more on Kindle lately because I haven't been wanting or needing to spend money. So anyhow, I need book 2. And this was great. The rest of the day, because things are a little backwards in these, you'll see like the whole clip of my day before you see the end of my day. Just because that's just the way I like to do these. I think that's fun to put all together. I don't like it to be like, I don't like it to be here and there. I like it to be all together. I don't know. I just prefer that. Anyhow, it's 2:30, so I'm gonna have to go get my kids here in a little bit. This evening, I'm going to watch a movie. I found a movie on Netflix that probably everybody has seen but me, because I am embarrassingly behind on movies. I always say that because I don't take the time to watch TV. Like if you come in my house, anybody who comes in my house can tell you my TV is always off. It's just sitting there. It's like decoration at this point. It's never on, ever. So I'm way behind on shows. I'm way behind on movies. So anyways, I found this movie on Netflix. I just kind of Googled, because I don't even know about movies anymore. I had to Google cozy movies. And this one came up, and it was Happiness for Beginners. And it's based on a book. It's supposed to be an adventure. It's supposed to be cozy, I think it's autumnal as well. So really looking forward to that. I haven't seen it. So that's going to be my unwind time this evening once I get the kids to bed. They're probably going to bed a little early tonight because my daughter was cranky pants this morning especially. They went to bed later last night than normal. Depends on also how gymnastics goes, depends on how much homework we have, depends on dinner, depends on all the things. But anyhow, this evening I'm going to watch that movie, and I'll tell you guys how it goes probably in the morning. And I will see you tomorrow. Good morning. It's pretty early. It's the next day. I did watch the movie last night, Happiness for Beginners. It was autumnal. It was definitely cozy and funny. Cheesy. It definitely had its cheesy moments, but it was still cute. It was, uplifting. It was motivational, and I loved that it was scenic. It had all these really gorgeous views because they're on the Appalachian Trail, and so it had all the fall scenery and mountainous and streams and lakes, and just, it was really gorgeous, very gorgeous. And all the characters were really quirky, and they're all dealing with their own things, and then they're on this hike together, and all levels of experience, from seasoned hikers all the way to never hiked a day in their life and can't even camp without injury. So all the characters were really fun, and they all have their own stories, But yeah, so they're all gathered together on this hiking adventure on the Appalachian Trail, and they have this hiking guide. He was funny. I ended up liking him by the end, but at first I was really annoyed with him. And the main character is this lady who has recently gone through a divorce, and you know, she's dealing with that, and she's kind of finding herself again. And when she gets there on this hiking trip, her brother's best friend is there. So yeah, you can kind of guess where it's gonna go. But yeah, it was really cute, and yeah, definitely cheesy. Not something I would normally watch because I'm not usually into those, you know, cheesy kind of movies, but it was just the right thing right now, and definitely what I needed. Just something to, you know, just chill, unwind, get me out of my head, and it was really cute. So I definitely enjoyed it. Other than that, that's all I really did last night. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. A couple nights ago, I cannot believe I completely forgot to tell you guys about this. But a couple nights ago, my husband and I actually got a date night, which never happens ever. And we got this painting kit a while ago. We've been waiting for the perfect night to do it. And we never get date nights anymore, hardly ever. So this was rare, and it was one that we kind of snuck up on because we didn't know we were getting a date night. And randomly, my mom actually kept, like, she just randomly had both my kids on a Saturday night, which was a surprise. And like she had them already on Friday, and they called and said, hey, can we spend the night? And it was Saturday at this point. And I'm like, sure, if you guys want to. And so they did. And we just happened to have a Saturday night, which, like I said, never happens. And we had this date kit that we've had for a while. And it's from Painting to Go. And Gogh is spelled G-O-G-H. So Painting to Go. So it's we did the spooky painting kit. We were going to do it around Halloween, but we never got around to it because one, we never had a date night really, and two, I had no energy. So we finally got to do it. It was really fun. Here is a picture of the painting that we did. But it's kind of fun to see your partner's painting style and also how you work together to do it, because you have to communicate the whole way to see, like, you have to put them close together and, you know, kind of connect in the middle. You have to follow directions with the video because you pull up a video. It's a joint effort to work together, but, you know, we each have completely different painting styles. So it was fun to see it all come together in the end. But it's hilarious because, like, I have really small, you know, dainty brush strokes, and then he has these big brush strokes and he's very more haphazard with his. He just will just slap it on the canvas and just call it done. He's like, cool, I'm done. And me, I'm just trying to make it perfect. And I got these small brush strokes and I'm trying to make it look like hers. And he's just like slaps it on there. He's like, cool, mine's good. It's really funny. But yeah, it came together really cool in the end. I like it. I like that they're different. I like that the styles are completely different. But even completely different styles, they look really good together in the end. And yeah, it looks really cute. We put it on our wall. But yeah, it was really fun. So we did that a couple months ago. I forgot to tell you guys about it. The plan today is I'm going to finish a couple of different books that I'm like toward the end of. The very first one I'm going to be reading is The Substitute by David McIlroy. This one was sent to me by the author. He sent it to me digitally. I'm toward the end of it now. I don't have too much left to read. And this one, I love the storyline. It's very unique and it's something wildly different. And I definitely I'm hooked in the way that, like, I have to know what happens next. I have to know where this is going. And I can honestly say, like, I have no idea how it's going to be resolved. Lou is an English teacher and she gets the flu. So she has to take off a few days from school. And when she comes back, no one recognizes her. No one remembers her. The principal, the kids in her class, no one. She goes to the class and the substitute teacher is still there. And the substitute basically says, no, I've been here for 6 years. Who are you? And all the kids say, no, this has been our teacher this whole time. We don't recognize you. And, like, she's very, you know, she's confused. She's like, no, I've been the teacher here for 6 years. I don't understand what you're talking about. You're the substitute. You're not the teacher. I am. And the substitute calls the principal, and the principal is, takes Lou and is like, hey, just come to my office. And he's coaxing her like she's the problem. So she goes to his office, and she and the principal have been friends. So she doesn't understand why he's treating her this way. And so the principal ends up flipping out on her and stuff. And the principal, of course, doesn't recognize her. That nobody does. So slowly, Evelyn is the substitute. Slowly, Evelyn just takes everything from Lou, basically. And, things get pretty ugly. Like, it's not completely perfect so far. Like, the book has its things that I'm like, eh. But it stopped in the middle of Lou's point of view, and then it flipped to a different point of view. And now I'm like, oh, why? Well, I don't like when that happens, because I desperately need to know how it's resolved. And I know it's probably going to get resolved by the end of this. I'm sure it'll eventually, hopefully it better go back to Lou at some point and explain to me what the hell happened. But it flipped to a different POV and went to Jason. And Jason is a student at the school. And Jason is kind of figuring out there's something not right with Evelyn, the substitute. And he's like trying to figure out what the deal is with her. That's where I am. I'm on part 2 at this point. I will let you guys know how that goes, and I will check in here in a little bit. And also today I'm going to be, you'll see a clip, but because you guys know that everything's backwards in these things, but I'm going to be decorating my Kindle today also, and then I'll be reading, like I said, this book on my phone because it was sent to me digitally, and then I'll be reading another book on my Kindle and redoing my Kindle stickers. We'll just see where else the day takes me, but another relaxing day. So I'll check in here in a little bit. Finished The Substitute by David McIlroy, and I told you guys a little bit about what it was about. And like I said, Lou was a teacher. She's a teacher, English teacher, and Evelyn, the substitute, kind of took over. And Lou got there and nobody remembered her, nobody recognized her, and and Evelyn slowly took over and took basically everything from Lou. And then it got to, it like cut, and then it went to a second part, and then we got to Jason's point of view. Jason is a student at the school, and he started to realize there's something up with Evelyn, the substitute. He started noticing that something wasn't right, and he starts to think that, hey, maybe Evelyn's not human. And then another student goes missing, So then he starts to see, no, I really don't think she's human. There's something definitely not quite right here. And then there's another POV in Maurice, and Maurice has been tracking Evelyn for a while, and he really wants to stop her. He has a personal reason for that. She has personally affected him in a big way. He's being sort of guided by his dreams, and his dreams are telling him, you know, kind of where to go and what to do. The dreams kind of lead him to Jason and then to Lou, and then they team up to come up with a plan to stop Evelyn. I'm not giving anything away. That's all in the synopsis. That's, you know, there's no spoilers. That is all like right in the synopsis. Ended up giving this one 3 stars. It would have been higher. Like, I went back and forth on my rating on this because there were times that, like, because I love the plot and I love the story and I was really into the story and I really wanted to know more, and there were spots, let me tell you, I wanted to reach through the book and like punch Evelyn myself. She is awful. She's absolutely deplorable. She's a true villain because she's hiding in, for a villain to be hiding in plain sight the way that she can, it is terrifying. And you will want to punch her yourself. Let me tell you, she's awful. So that's the thing, like I battled with my rating on this because I really enjoyed the story so much and I really enjoyed the plot so much, but I had some issues with the writing itself here and there. One, I think it could have used like the multiple POVs just all the way through instead of chopping it up the way it was, because I was really into Lou and her point of view, and then it chopped and it went right, and it hit to part 2, went to Jason's POV, and then also, and it went to, we were in Jason's POV for a while and completely left Lou, and you're left wondering what happened to Lou, where is she in all this, like what is going on with her for a long time. And then Maurice, and so that whole time you're like, what is going on with Lou? Where is she? Is she, you know, is she good? Like, what's happening with her? So I didn't like that necessarily, and I wish we had just gotten the multiple points of view all the way through instead of chopping it up like that. And also there was a lot of like going through things that had already happened. Like he would say like, oh, we would go through in another character's point of view what had already happened, but in a different character's point of view. Like we would be going through the same things over again. So if that makes sense, I don't know if that makes sense. So, and it felt longer than it needed to be too, and there was some unnecessary details that I didn't feel like needed to be in there. Sometimes that I was like, how is that relevant? Like, why is that even in there? It felt long sometimes. Those are the only issues. Those are the issues that I had with it. However, I very, very, very much enjoyed the story. So like that's why I struggled with my rating about it, because like I wanted to rate it higher just because I love the story so much and I was really into it. It was just I couldn't rate it higher just because of the issues that I had with it. Do you know what I mean? So that was a struggle, but I did get it 3 stars and I really did enjoy it. And let me tell you, in part 2, the horror really kicked up and it surprised me and it got darker. And I was like, yes, like I got really excited because the horror like really kicked up, and I can't even tell you how because it would give it away, but I was very excited. So loved that. And like I said, it really surprised me in that way because I really did not expect it to take the turns that it took, but loved that. And what else was I gonna say? Also, this is a really great time of year to read it because it actually leads up to, like the events are leading up to Thanksgiving, starting with 16 days before. It'll say 16 days before Thanksgiving, 9 days before Thanksgiving, whatever. So it's the events leading up to Thanksgiving. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very unique, and it's a slower burn, so if you enjoy a slower burn horror, this could be for you. And also with a truly, truly deplorable villain. She's terrible. And you will want to, like I said, you will want to fight her yourself. So next I'm going to be reading Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I'm reading the last 25% of it today. That is all I have left for my TikTok book club, and I've really enjoyed it so far. It's very, I don't even know how to explain this about because there's so much going on with it. It is a romantasy. Main character is Saris. The place where she lives, there are these wards. They depend on just kind of luck of the draw of where you live, or where you're born, I mean. And the ward where she lives is the 3rd ward. And the queen kind of is the more poverty-stricken ward, and the queen is starving them, basically. She rations out their water and their food. And so Saris is a pickpocket, and she steals and all this to survive. And one day, I won't even tell you how she ends up there, but one thing leads to another, and she ends up opening a gate to this other realm, basically. And she ends up in this Fae world, and she, you know, she's never really believed in the Fae, and all of a sudden she finds herself right in the middle of this Fae world. And this guy, this Fae Kingfisher, you know, he's this handsome Fae warrior. That's who she ends up binding herself with. She ends up in this land called Evelia. Please, that's how you pronounce it, Evelia. And this Fae Kingfisher has, you know, he needs her help. She needs his help getting back home. He needs her help with the alchemist magic. So, you know, so they basically kind of strike a deal. And Kingfisher is, you know, kind of mysterious. He's this Fae warrior, and he's also, he's got this attitude about him as well. So they've always got these snarky comments back and forth. And especially him, he's just got this horrible attitude about him. But yeah, and there's this whole battle going on also. They're always at war. Yeah, so it's this whole thing. But this whole world that she finds herself in is full of magic, and it's very wintry, and yeah, it's just this whole world opens up for her that she didn't even know existed. But yeah, I'll let you guys know how it goes. I have 25% left today, which is about 150 pages, and I will check in here in a little bit. Okay, it's like 2:30, it's perfect timing, so I'm about to have to go pick up my son. I finished Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Put a picture of it here. It was so good. My first romantasy, I believe. I've heard it compared to ACOTAR, but I really can't say because I've never read ACOTAR. However, now that I've heard it compared to that, I might have to read it. It is so good. I'm definitely giving it 5 stars. I really don't have anything to compare it to because I've never read romantasy. I've never read anything like this before, but it is so good. I'm very impressed because, I mean, it's such an intricately woven story. There's so much going on, and how the author was able to create this whole world from scratch is just amazing to me. There's just so much to it. And not just one world, but multiple, because there are different realms, and there are different, all these different worlds within the world. I mean, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And also, if you're a mood reader, if you're somebody that's a seasonal reader, winter is a great time to read this one because it is very wintry and snowy. The characters are all very well developed. They're all perfectly thought out. The world building is, I mean, amazing. It's just, I have no words. It's just so well put together. So well put together. Now, this was for my TikTok book club. I didn't pick this one. Like I said, we put all of our book picks in a Google spreadsheet. So, and then we spin a wheel every month. So I didn't pick this one, but I'm really glad that it was picked. It makes me want to read more of this type of book because I was completely transfixed. I was completely lost into this one. I wasn't thinking about anything else. My mind was not wandering at all. I was completely into this book. It was really long, like 600 pages, because there was so much to it, and it's going to be part of a series. This is the first in a series. And you know, this is one of those things where I told you guys I have a problem with series, because I usually wait until the whole series comes out before I start it. And I'm going to have a problem with that with this one, because the way it ended, you want the next book right away. You don't want to wait for it. And I'm going to have a really hard time waiting for it, because, and by the time the next book comes out, I'm hoping it doesn't take forever, because I don't want to forget what happened before the next one comes out, because it definitely left it to you want to know what happens next right away. So that's my only thing, is that I'm gonna have a hard time with that, because you know how much I have a hard time. I have the patience of a 5-year-old when it comes to that. Yeah, I loved it. I loved it so much. It was great. There was the perfect amount of action moments, and then slower, and action and slower. It was just the perfect pacing, I felt like, to where you weren't like beat over the head with all the action and you had time to rest. I just loved how the information came out. I had loved how everything unfolded, how you were left to wonder, how you kind of got a chance to guess at what was going to happen, you know what I mean? And there were plenty of surprises, there were plenty of twists, there were plenty of, and also there were some horror elements in a way. You know, there were some scary stuff. There were kind of some horror elements. It was really good. I very much enjoyed it. So if you are especially if you're a fantasy reader, I would highly recommend it. It was great. There were a lot of, I really thought we were in trouble, and I'm not the only one in my group, because at the very beginning, it has a whole list of characters and how to pronounce their names and stuff, and I'm like, oh boy, what are we getting ourselves into? But once you get past like the first like world building of it, and you get into it, it's not so overwhelming. I was really overwhelmed when I saw that list. I thought, oh my gosh, this is kind of so many characters to keep up with. But it really wasn't that bad. Once you got into it, it really wasn't bad at all. Definitely worth a read. Really good. I do think I'm going to end the vlog here. I think otherwise it's going to get too long. I finished 4 books within this vlog, so that's pretty good. And I watched at least 1 movie and did some paint by number. So yeah, it was pretty fun. It was nice and relaxing. I had a good time. Definitely good de-stress. It was nice to just, it's kind of nice to just chill. I highly recommend doing these. You know, if you don't, you know, if you need to de-stress, I would highly recommend, if you can, even if you just want to take a day to just do things that can take you out of your head, whatever that looks like for you. I mean, it doesn't have to be reading. It could be literally anything that can get you out of your head. If there's a comfort show, comfort movie for you, if you just want to get some snacks and watch a comfort movie, do that. You know, whatever it is. Paint by number, that's a good one, because, you know, or if you want to watch a movie while you're doing a paint by number, that was really helpful. And they're really fun and definitely stress relieving. Anyways, next week's video will be my December TBR. I have lots of wintry and Christmas reads. I have a mixture of everything. I have lots and lots of holiday horror. I have some rom-coms, like some holiday rom-com type reads. I have a little bit of everything. So that will be next week. And I have a very long list. So yeah, that will be coming next week. Yeah, I will have my whole list next week for you guys. Anyways, I will see you next Friday. Bye for now.